Welcome, refined vermin, to Geek Salad's retro movie review from the Geek Salad podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are continuing our expedition into the Disney universe by covering a Pixar movie, 2007's Academy Award winning Ratatouille.
Wow. I keep forgetting that one won an Academy Award.
Yeah, I know. It's back when it was the Pixar Award.
Yeah.
For the longest time, it was the Pixar Award. It started. Actually, it's weird. Now that I think about it, because it started with Nemo. Mm-hmm. Nemo was the first one to win the feature award, and then it went to The Incredibles the next year. There was nothing in 2005 and 2006. Cars was nominated, but Happy Feet won.
All right.
And then Ratatouille, and then Up, Toy Story 3.
Both of which were nominated for the Best Picture as well.
Right. I want to say 2011 though was Rango. So there was like this string where it was all these, but Ratatouille is in fact in there. It won Brad Bird his second Academy Award.
His first was Iron Giant?
No, it was Incredibles.
Oh, I thought this one was before Incredibles.
No, this is 2007.
Yeah,
Incredibles was 2004.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. I don't want to get any more angry emails about our time displacement here. And this movie is one of those movies that I think tends to get forgotten by a lot of Pixar fans, especially with really the first in the grown-up Pixar movies. Between this, WALL-E, and Up. I mean, these are more for the grown-ups who are looking for that to get that sense of oneself. Well, all three of those movies are discovery movies. They're about self-discovery.
I would say they're not so much like designed for adults. Is more of their family in that they're kid friendly, but the story is also relatable with adults.
Movies, if they were live action, could have easily taken the same story. Maybe not with the talking rats or the robots.
Yeah,
but they could. They could definitely fill in for more grown-up fare.
The robots didn't do a whole lot of talking.
That's true. They did not. But yeah, this movie is one I just really feel kind of gets forgotten, especially with the way that Pixar used to be very vehemently anti-sequel. And then almost everything has gotten a sequel now. I mean, their flagship, Toy Story, has got 4 total sequels, with the new one, the 4th one coming out this summer.
Right.
Cars has had 3 sequels. Finding Nemo's had a sequel. Monsters Inc. has had a prequel.
And it's getting a sequel series on Disney Plus.
Which one?
Monsters Inc.
That's right. I forgot they're bringing that back, which would be fantastic, especially because they get the voice actors back.
Yep.
But Ratatouille is a weird one because it's always floated around like my top 4 favorite Pixar movies. I adore this movie, and more than just the fact that one of my favorite stand-up comedians, Patton Oswalt, does the voice of the main character, Remy. It definitely helps, but his delivery of just being that outsider rat where all the other rats are eating garbage, and he's got a more refined palate.
But I mean, going with all the sequels and all that, I don't think Ratatouille needs a sequel because the story is perfectly encapsulated right in that one movie.
I agree. You're freezing up, so that's why I'm cutting you
well,
off.
Actually, you're freezing up for me.
Really? We're both freezing up?
I think when I freeze up for you, you freeze up for me.
Oh, shit. All right. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll try not to do that. I got a great signal down here, too.
I'm hardwired, so I shouldn't be doing that.
I don't know what's going on. So I really love a lot about this movie. You're right about the standalone factor. Most Pixar movies could have stood to be standalone movies.
Yeah.
Monsters Inc. could have been a standalone movie. Finding Nemo could have definitely been a standalone movie. even the Toy Story movies, I don't know what they plan.
Sorry, you froze up again.
Wow, we're really doing that a lot tonight?
More than usual.
Huh.
That's
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I was
Sorry, folks. Just double checking everything. Everything here looks good on my end, so.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can maybe like there we go. I just kind of lowered my the quality of my video to see if maybe that might help.
Again. Oh. Well, this will definitely be a short one then. Hopefully it kind of just moves. Maybe we're just freezing up to each other and this whole thing's going on lag and we're just talking about it. I don't know. Right. So anyway, yeah, this movie is definitely one of those movies that is a standalone. I am very psyched that we're finally getting the Disneyland Europe ride in Epcot Center next year, or not next year, like 2 years from now.
Yeah.
And I'm very much looking forward to that because I've seen the POV videos online from Disneyland Paris, and they just look so cool. The ride itself looks so immersive and so cool that it should be fun.
Yeah. I'm really looking for. I actually haven't watched any of the POVs yet. I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to because I don't know if I want to be surprised or not. But if it's 2 years from now, then I probably will watch it.
Plenty of surprise. Of surprise. But this movie in general has just got a really cool aesthetic to it. I do love the transfer of being, on the old Paris countryside going into Paris, the city. And there are oh my God, there's so many French tropes that just make me laugh. There's one in particular where Remy is going through this building and he's going through the walls and he's just looking through the holes in the walls. And there's this couple having an argument and she's got a gun. Go ahead and shoot me. I dare you. And he hears the bang and he goes to another thing and they're just making out.
Yeah. Remy, I personally really like Remy's relationship with his father and his siblings.
Yeah.
Or friends, whatever.
His brother.
Yeah. Who's voiced by...
The dad is voiced by Brian Dennehy.
That's right. Wow.
Which is hilarious. If you're familiar with Patton Oswalt's stand-up routine, he does a really filthy bit that name drops Brian Dennehy. So if you are a fan or you're looking to figure out which one that is, it's the Robert Evans piece that he does on the Feelin' Kinda Patton album. And I know that's available on YouTube.
Actually, all the way around, I think the voice acting on this one is very well done.
It is. The funny thing is, too, is that a lot of the voices are unrecognizable. I honestly couldn't tell you who voices Linguini without looking it up because I think he's just one of the Pixar voice guys.
Yeah. I mean, the one that kind of stands out most for me was Brad Garrett as the ghost, I believe.
Gusteau?
Yeah, I believe that was Brad Garrett.
Now I'm looking this up. Sorry, we're not so prepared. Are we not freezing up as much though?
I haven't seen it freeze up, and I have lowered my bandwidth a little bit, so hopefully that's helping.
Okay, but I'm fine, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, excellent. That's all that matters, right?
Cool.
Give me a second here. I was pulling it up. The rats. This is I have so much difficulty spelling this word. All right, so Brad Garrett. All right, so Lou Romano is Linguini. Ian Holm is Skinner, the short executive chef.
Oh yeah,
which is funny because it doesn't sound like him at all.
No, well, Ian Holm is quite talented with most of his work.
Right.
So
yeah, Brad Garrett was Gusteau.
Yeah.
Which there's that great bit in this movie where Skinner is trying to he's selling the name Gusto to like this microwave TV dinner company, and they've got like all Southern Colonel and Mexican and and that was really funny. Yeah, so there's other like Will Arnett does a voice in here.
Really?
Horst, who I'm assuming is one of the guys in the kitchen. John Ratzenberger is Mustafa, another one that just like you don't recognize his voice at all.
Which is odd because John Ratzenberger is pretty much a staple for Pixar.
Yep. Janine Garofalo.
Yeah.
Voices Colette. Hard to tell that's her.
I genuinely did like the relationship between Linguini and Colette.
I did too. It was a very interesting one because it was believable only because Linguini is a really, really good guy.
Yeah.
And he's
just in the complete wrong avenue.
Exactly.
He was never designed to be a chef.
And I do love at the end that the resolution for him doesn't involve him becoming a chef.
Right.
He owns his own restaurant, but he's not the one actually doing the cooking.
Right, because I mean, as shown throughout the entire movie, he has no ability to cook.
Right.
And that's not his character arc. That's not where he's supposed to go.
Right. He but the whole thing with him and Remy, where Remy's pulling on his hair and that makes him move. I really love that. In fact, I saw this really great Halloween costume on Facebook this year, where someone wore that tall chef's hat, and they actually had a cutout silhouette of a rat, like just holding two pieces of hair.
Nice.
I like that. I could conceivably do that for myself. That's a really easy costume.
But you'd have to add in a little motor so that the arms move.
Yeah. And I'd just be like this.
That would be a pretty cool costume, I think.
So much about this movie works. Peter O'Toole as Anton Ego is one of my favorite antagonists in all of Pixar.
Yeah.
He's just so... There's just something about his very, very droll and dry, slippery delivery. As a food critic.
Well, I do love the fact that, though, he is kind of the antagonist, but he's not really. But because he's just
Peter's a bigger antagonist, but with it's Ego that is the looming threat over this entire movie. Once the plot gets established, it's Ego that essentially is the end game.
Right. I mean, really, I would say Skinner is more of an antagonist than Ego. Ego's just kind of like shall we say, the boss battle.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's really just essentially doing his job.
Right, exactly. It's not that he hates food. He loves food so much he hates when anybody gets it wrong.
Right.
And there are some fantastic little shots. Brad Bird's composure of the shots in Ego's office are fantastic. From the fact that his typewriter looks like a skull, and that his office looks like a coffin.
Well, I mean, he does look like almost like a dead person.
Right, with the all black, back hair, and very, very skeletal features, the very, very long, spindly fingers and the long face.
And very pale complexion as well.
Exactly. But when they serve him the ratatouille at the end, and he just puts that one piece in his mouth, that flash.
Yeah.
One of the most brilliantly composed shots in all of Pixar-dom.
Right. Oh, yeah. It just takes him back to the moment when he had the ratatouille made by his mother. Yeah. And that was the resolution.
Yeah. That's the resolution of the entire movie. And then, of course, they had to let the health inspector go.
Yeah.
Couldn't kidnap him. Yeah, a lot of that works. The stuff with the rats, too, could have gotten really annoying, but when they finally agree to help him, I love just the whole the way that, again, this is just how much of a genius Brad Bird is. It's just the mechanics involved with using very, very small things to move very, very large things and having to work as a team to do that. Starting with the fact that they all wash themselves in that dishwasher. Have you ever worked in the kitchen?
No.
Okay, I have. And those things are just, they're nothing but like water and steam.
Ooh.
So I love that when they open the thing up and all the rats are fluffy. They're super, super fluffy.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Another thing that Brad Bird really composes well are when Remy is combining the flavors.
Yeah.
Representing the flavors, because you can't obviously taste in a movie with the little splashes of color behind him. Where he has these little vignettes and he's like, he eats one thing and there's just this little firework, and then he eats something else and there's just another little firework, and he puts them together. It's just this big burst of flavor.
Well, I do love, because like it does, like, you know, I've never worked in the kitchen, but I've watched the Food Network and Cooking Channel all the time, and so you know that when they're just like they're testing it and then they're adding the seasonings, that was spot on. So Remy really did legitimately know what he was doing.
Right. I mean, we've all done that. We've all like looked at something and know, I wonder what would taste like if I put this on top of it.
Right.
And we, hell, I'm a 47-year-old man and I'll eat spaghetti and meatballs and I'll make sure that I get some pasta on top of that meatball when I'm eating it,
Mm-hmm.
Just what I do. Yeah, it's really tough to fault anything with this movie. Are there any flaws in this movie that you can see, Mike?
Not really a flaw, but more of the animation style is very stylistic, and it may not be for everyone. The very pointed, very sharp features is a very unique stylistic take, shall we say?
Are you talking about the rats?
No, I'm just referring to like the facial features. Everyone's very sharp angles and very very pointed features.
I really kind of feel like if I was going to name that form of design, I would actually have to call it Parisian. Because if you think about it, especially with the way that Paris is shot in movies and television, everything is very, very narrow and very, very angular. Mm-hmm. And that's everything from their very, very narrow streets to their alleyways to the Eiffel Tower. Everything is very, very narrow. So I can understand that that's how they're shooting everything. Pixar is one of those weird things with human design. And I'm still giving the Duke to overall best human design in a movie to Inside Out and then The Incredibles.
Yeah, Inside Out, absolutely.
Well, because Inside Out, there was no character. There was no caricature of the characters. The characters were built in regular scale. There weren't like these super angry, like the Wallace Shawn character in The Incredibles or Skinner.
Yeah.
Who was essentially a 4'2", he's like 6'3". And that's just one thing that, if we're trying to get more of that photorealistic, not so much photorealistic, but we want to pretend that this is an animated movie, but it's not an animated movie.
Right.
That kind of throws you off. And that's just one of those things that the best animated movies make you forget that they're animated movies. And there are times when you're dealing with human characters in here, you're totally reminded it's an animated movie.
Right. I know that you would not be you would be upset if we forgot to mention Michael Giacchino's score.
I love this score. I really do. Yes, thank you for bringing that up because I almost forgot about that. Giacchino, his work in Pixar is just, it's all I can do. I have no other words for it. I can't think of a bad Giacchino score went in under the Pixar umbrella.
I would say Ego would approve.
Yes. There's so much great like French riffing on there. A lot of great accordion and fiddle.
Yeah.
Type music. A lot of different little waltzes and stuff, which just really just make you feel like you're in Paris.
Right. Yeah. The music absolutely fits with the story that they're trying to tell, which is something that Giacchino is really, really good with. Not just with Pixar, but all of his Disney stuff, all of his non-Disney stuff. He is a very, I mean, he is honestly one of my top composers for movies.
I truly believe that he is the heir apparent to John Williams.
I don't disagree.
I believe that he is going to, once episode 9 comes out and John Williams says, I am done with Star Wars, I think this is Giacchino's property to take. He did a great job with Rogue One.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that he's just such a body of work. And because he's got that relationship with Disney already, I mean, between the work he's done with the MCU and the work he's done with Disney Pixar and the work that he's done with Star Wars already, all he needs now is to just do the score for a Muppet movie, and we're all set.
No, he's even done some of the scores for the Disney parks.
That's true. Space Mountain.
Yeah, if you ride Space Mountain, you're listening to Michael Giacchino.
Yep, and he uses a theremin in that one. So yeah, I love that. I really love that theme. And actually, speaking of which, Mike.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's mountain shirt tonight. So yes, it's part of the Disney tradition. I'm going to wear a Disney shirt for all 4 of the weeks that we discussed this. Yeah, I am just really, really looking forward to that ride. And it's, you know, we're kind of keeping this one short for a number of reasons. This is one of those movies. I truly, it's in my not only in my upper echelon of Pixar movies, but just in overall Disney animated movies. If you lump them all together, Ratatouille is up there for me, more so than a lot of like the more mainstay Disney and Pixar fare.
Yeah, I like Ratatouille quite a lot. I would say it's probably either just at the top of my top 10 or just maybe outside it. Not for any faults of its own, but maybe because a lot of other Pixar movies have kind of like have hit me a little bit harder than this one has.
Yeah. And that's fair. It's such a wide swath of movies. Yeah. At this point, it's like, you know, I feel bad if I'm ranking my MCU movies that Captain Marvel might be at number 10. You know, it's just there's so little daylight in between all of them. And that's the same thing with Pixar movies. I could probably count on one hand Pixar movies I don't care for. And 3 of those have the word cars in them.
Fair enough. Another one has monsters.
Another one has the words "good" and "dinosaur" in it. So,
no one remembers Good Dinosaur.
We should have reviewed that one.
But that would mean I would have to watch it, and I don't plan on spending any money to watching it. I'll watch it
once, and I fell asleep.
I'll watch it once it pops up on Disney Plus.
Yes, folks, only $7.99 a month. Please hire us to be your spokespeople.
$6.99 a month.
$6.99. I'm sorry, $6.99 a month. I'm thinking just $7.
Yeah,
insane
for the entire Disney back catalog.
Yeah, I should check with our friends in the UK and see if it's still as affordable to them there as it will be for us here.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if they're doing any kind of international plans.
If you're watching this, please DM me and let me know. So anyway, do you have anything else to say about Ratatouille? It's just I could honestly spend another 20 minutes gushing. One of those things. If you haven't seen this movie, and obviously we've given away the ending, so go us.
It's a Pixar movie. You weren't really surprising you wouldn't really be surprised by the ending.
Right. Definitely give it a whirl. Give this one a whirl. If you've got kids and your kids haven't seen this one, definitely there's very, very little scary stuff in here. There was like one disturbing scene, and it's just this one quick shot of like rat traps and like these dead rats hanging off them. It's a very, very quick scene close to the end of the second act of the movie. That's it. That is about as scary as it gets.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched this one actually, but it's still up. It's still up there for me.
Yeah. One last thing I have to talk about is when Remy finds himself in the kitchen for the first time, and he sees that Linguini has ruined that soup.
Oh yeah.
And he's trying to fix it. And he's grabbing the stuff And it just at first it's just like anyone else works out problems. You're moving your finger, you're trying to make some stuff, and then all of a sudden, as he's throwing the stuff in there, it becomes this beautiful little dance of his, where he's just throwing stuff. He's doing the hook shots of the closed garlic into the soup, and he's just doing that, and he's just having this grand old time, and then it just stops when Linguini sees him.
And that's actually great. Like you were saying, the shot composure, the shot of Linguini, of just Remy stopping and Linguini being right there.
Yeah,
I love that shot. I love that shot a lot.
Yeah, it really is a fun movie, and definitely, obviously, whenever we do these retro movie reviews, I always put the link to the movie down there. So give it a chance, rent it too, and check it out. Definitely worthwhile. There's also another great video from the DVD, which was kind of the history of the Know Your Rats.
Oh,
with Remy and Emile.
Nice.
Yeah, they do this whole history of the rats and how they were unfairly blamed for the Black Plague, because it wasn't the rats that brought the plague; it was the fleas that brought the Black Plague.
The fleas just passed the plague over on to the rats.
Right? Exactly. It's not their fault.
They got sick too.
It's also an interesting dynamic too with this movie, that this is one of my most beloved Disney movies, and it has nothing to do with the mouse. It's about the rat.
Yeah. It's kind of like, which Muppet movie did Rizzo have the mouse ears on?
Oh my God, I have no idea. I have to think about that one.
I just distinctly remember seeing. Oh, maybe it might have been like a Muppet short where. I know. No, it was a Muppet Vision 3D.
Oh, all right.
The pre-show
weeks. So
yeah, the pre-show. It was like Sam's just like, he's doing his spiel, and I think Gonzo comes out and says, we have a special guest, and it says Mickey Mouse, and Rizzo comes out with the Mickey costume on.
Hi there, I'm Mickey Mouse.
And Sam promptly shoos him away.
All right, so that was Ratatouille. What are your thoughts about Ratatouille? Do you love it? Is it not one of your favorite Pixar movies? Please leave a polite comment below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Geek Salad here on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Mike and I also host a podcast called Geek Salad, which is available at geeksalad.podbean.com and available pretty much where Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, Google Music. We are there, and the audio streams also appear here on YouTube. Last night, Mike posted our latest episode, which was our potential reboots that we will fantasize about making real.
Oh yes, I wish.
Yeah, it's a really fun conversation, so definitely check that one out. And check out all of our other stuff either on Podbean or on your podcast app or right here on YouTube. Please keep subscribing. Pass on the links. We love that. Am I forgetting anything, Mike?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, also follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast.
Yeah.
So until next time, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
Go forth and be nerdful. We'll talk to you later.